Hello, this is Glory.
This your boy Ace. This is
Glory and Ace podcast.
God, about time, y'all.
Oh my God.
This one, y'all. That took us like 15 minutes because this one right here.
It didn't.
Yes, it did.
Anyways, today's topic is going to be about toxic relationships.
So I know whoever watched this, I know all y'all been in toxic situations.
Whether it be family, friends,
or
associates,
you,
or you. Or you, because sometimes it's you.
And ain't no sometimes.
I mean, sometimes people don't realize that it's them.
Some of them do know it's them.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you brief. I had this girl tell me months ago. This girl say, I like a little bit toxicity, whatever. How you pronounce it? Girl, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Toxicity.
This girl said, I like a little bit of toxic.
That is weird.
Then she sent me links to Facebook of different toxic memes. I was like, yeah.
Why would you want that though? Why would somebody say that?
She wants to get choked. She wants to get hemmed up. She wants her arm. I guess it turns on. I don't know.
And that's another thing. Watching what we feed into our minds that makes us think that those things are okay. Because those things are not okay. It's not okay. I wouldn't want a man what are you choking me for?
No.
That is weird. But that's just my opinion. From a Christian standpoint, you shouldn't be choking anybody.
And a dark-skinned man like me choking a light-skinned girl, ain't gonna fly. But go ahead. Let's go.
Anyway. Okay, so some of the toxic traits, or I'll ask Devin the question first, or Ace the question first. What are some toxic, what are some things that you've noticed in people that lets you know that they're toxic?
Before I start answering my question, she called me Devin one more time. We're gonna have a problem. My name is Ace, y'all.
I'm gonna let that slide.
Anyway, so with that
Ace. Okay, Ace, but ain't nothing finna happen to me. But okay, Ace, can you answer the question now, please?
I don't know. It could be anything.
I mean, like, what are the signs that lets you know?
But my signs might be different.
That's what I'm saying. For you, what have been your signs that have, let you know?
People that's argumentative. So
basically, somebody that's always picking arguments.
I would say people they can't say sorry, and they just can't say sorry, and we can move on. They just want to make excuse, and then they'll say sorry, but I ain't even mean it like that, or but you made me do that. I'm gonna make you do something.
Like, when you apologize, you should just apologize because you want to apologize. When you apologize, there shouldn't be any buts in it. It's either you're apologizing from your heart and you mean it with all sincerity and you want to move past the situation, or don't apologize at all, because it really just means that you don't mean it. Like, if I say, I'm so sorry for what I did, that's your apology. There should be no buts in it. But if you wouldn't have did this, how is that an apology?
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say all, but most dudes, it's easy for a dude to apologize to a dude, but for some reason, a woman trying to apologize to a dude.
Not all women are like that.
Boy. Anyway.
Not all women are like that.
I never said all, I said some.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't say all women.
Maybe I missed that. Okay, my bad, y'all. But, what else? What other examples do you have? Or, like, signs that let you know that, or experiences that you've had where you noticed that someone was toxic?
That's it. People who want to place blame on somebody else. They want to place blame on you of everything that's going on. Oh, somebody tells me they gonna call me back, but then I don't call them to reach out because I ain't finna call you because you say you gonna call me back. And the next day, I be like, oh, I thought you were gonna call me back. Oh, the phone worked 2 ways. That's toxic. That's toxic.
Yeah, it's like, if you really want to talk to somebody, talk to them. It shouldn't be a play. That reminds me of, like, when you're dating and it's like people be playing these little games. If you want to talk to someone, talk to them. Don't be a bugaboo. But if you want to talk to somebody, talk to them because you want to talk with them.
And if you don't want to talk to the individual, just don't talk to them at all. Stop trying to tell people you're going to call them back. And you're not going to call them back. Be like me and just don't respond.
Now, in reference to some of the things that lets me know when someone is toxic, I would have to say, kind of like touching on what he said in reference to, like, when you, like, meet somebody and they're just, like, nitpicking at everything that you do. that's annoying, and that's also a trait of toxicness, because it's like, why is it that every time I say something you're like nitpicking at everything that I do or trying to compare yourself to, you know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Another one is, like he mentioned, as far as being argumentative, like picking fights for no reason. Me personally, people who pick fights just for no reason, to me, and I'm not gonna say all the time, but sometimes to me, that's like a sign of someone that's depressed. And the reason why I say that is because I was once that person. I wouldn't necessarily say picking arguments with other people. It was more so like picking arguments, or not necessarily picking arguments, but like, I guess you would say, like taking my frustration out on the ones that I love, like my siblings. Which at this point, me and my sister, shout out to Nikki and Ebony, and but we're better now, because a lot of times we don't know how to face ourselves within, and a lot of times we think that it's the other people. Granted, the other person may have some different things that they have done to maybe cause a problem, or cause confusion, but you're also responsible for your actions in that particular situation. A lot of times we don't want to recognize that. Prime example, there may have been some things throughout my life where I felt like my sisters could have done something better, but me adding my frustration to what they're doing didn't make the situation any better. And eventually, at 31 years, probably about a year ago, not a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, I had got to a point where it was just, looking within myself, realizing, hey, regardless of what others do, whether it's my siblings or anybody that I care about, or for any type of situation, sometimes you have to take a step back and look at yourself and say, okay, I'm noticing this, but what am I also contributing, or what can I do to make this situation better? And realizing that I was also causing problems as well because of what was happening, because there's a way to respond to issues that your loved ones may go through, as opposed to just lashing out and just rah-rah-rahing at somebody. There's a way to handle situations, even if it's things that you don't understand. If it's something that you don't understand and you know that you're frustrated with the situation, sometimes it just may be better for you to just be quiet or walk away. And I would say that's one thing that I had to start learning in reference to the different things that I was experiencing with my sisters, is learning to allow them to live their lives for themselves, and me not trying to live for them. Because in a sense, that was my toxic behavior. In a sense, that's like controlling. You're trying to force someone to live a certain life, regardless of whether it was trying to lead them in a good path. The toxicness of the situation was the fact that I was trying to force them to do it a certain way. And when they wouldn't do it a certain way, now we're bickering back and forth, name calling, you know what I'm saying, and just being disrespectful to each other, because they're looking at it from the standpoint of, well, this is a decision that I made, and I'm looking at it from the standpoint, well, you wasn't raised like this, so why would you do something like that? But at the end of the day, love and kindness have, as the Bible would say, have not drawn thee. So you can't just get upset with people and their decisions. At the end of the day, that's their life. And you have to be okay with someone else living their life, because that's their life. You have to live your life. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I actually wrote down in reference to one of the signs.
I know that was long-winded, y'all. So what she trying to say is, you can't force nobody to do nothing, all right, man? So if they showing you clear sign they don't want to change, sometimes it's best to love somebody from a distance.
Or walk away, or limit your time around them, and setting boundaries.
Loving somebody from a distance.
Right, and that's regardless of whether it's family, friends. That doesn't mean that you have to stop completely talking to that person, but in certain situations, if you find yourself getting drawn into what they're doing or what they have going on, and you're finding yourself stressed out about their situation, maybe you need to take a step out of it. Because putting yourself in it is also drawing stress to you. And at the end of the day, all you can do is pray about things that you don't understand. You don't understand anything what the scripture says. Through prayer and supplication, or be anxious for nothing, but through prayer and supplication make your request known. So it's like whatever that you are, not sure of or something that you're frustrated about, regardless of what the situation is, don't be anxious about it. Don't fret about it. Lay it before God and leave it there. A lot of times we go before God and we put the situation before him, but when we get up, we take it back with us. It's not our place to take those things with us. That's the point of giving it to God. You have to allow God to deal with that situation. Focus on the things that you can control. If it's beyond your control, baby, let that go.
Love and happiness, Al Green. Come
on. Some signs are they only call when they want something.
I ain't gonna lie, I was guilty of that, but I would use people. I used to have early in my military career, I was a thought. I had a 5-team strong, and they just rotated. One girl did something different.
Oh my Lord! So you had a roster?
No, I'm not trying to brag, but yeah, they're like every girl did something different. If that girl told me no one, she got replaced. I went out to the club every day, and then she told me go right to the club and I go find somebody new to replace her.
Wow.
And then on top of that, I will only mess with. This is toxic. I will only mess with women.
That's a controlling behavior as well.
Yeah, I only would mess with women that had low self-esteem too. I already knew they had low self-esteem. I'm letting y'all know. I'm giving y'all free game for y'all females out there that's actually looking at this podcast. Trust me, dudes can tell that you ain't high on yourself. You could be looking good and fine, and them usually be the ones with the low self-esteem. The ones that's like super fine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I would do that. So trust me, I was toxic. I wasn't toxic to where I was like.
You're in a sense being would that be manipulative?
Manipulative.
In a sense, that's being manipulative.
Con artist, whatever you want to.
Conning people.
Yeah, with my lies, I told this one girl, I gave myself to the Lord, and I was a virgin, like a born again virgin again. And I still was sleeping around. I just didn't sleep with her.
Why did you do that though? Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want to sleep with her.
Why ain't you just telling me what? That's another toxic behavior. Not just be truthful, be honest.
Listen, the reason why I ain't tell her
people who lie a lot. Like, what is the point? It just if you don't.
I'm not promoting premarital sex. No, now. Right. But back then, what I'm basically saying is, I didn't want to sleep with her because I was able to still get what I wanted out of her without actually sleeping with her. But then it backfired on me because it only lasted a couple of months, and then she cheated on me. I didn't care. I came over to pick up my car one day because I left my car in her garage. My homeboy drove me back over there. She had like candlelights everywhere, and they was in there drinking champagne around the fireplace. And she swore up and down they were just friends. But I said, hey man, I didn't even get mad.
That's a bit weird.
I said, hey, I didn't get upset. I said, hey, I just couldn't get in my car. She was like, please, Devin, don't leave.
While the other dude was still there?
Hey, my homeboy was at the door filming it. Like, oh man.
Why was he filming? That's toxic.
He thought it was
That's encouraging.
And then he said, and then when I look back, I said, this look like somebody cheating. And then she said, no, this ain't cheating. We're just friends. And then I looked at my homeboy.
Friends don't like candles.
And then I looked at my homeboy. I said, what this look like to you? He like, look like cheating to me. We ain't came in, they probably would have been wrestling. We both laughed. And we walked up out of there. Got my car, drove away. And then she came over to my apartment. She came over to my apartment probably like 30 minutes later. I already called another girl to come over to my house. One of my other female friends.
You worked fast.
No, but this female friend knew about how I get down, so she knew. So she came over and I was telling her what happened. So she thought it was hilarious. And then I hear a bang on my front door and it was old girl from the house. So I told old girl, I said, hey, you gotta go sit in the room. She was like, if I can listen? I said, yeah. So she left the door cracked so she can hear our conversation. Right? Old girl came in there trying to plead her case. I said, listen, I don't want no part of it. I'm a born-again Christian. Still going with the lie. Still going with the lie.
Why you out there just doing God knows what?
Yeah, I was. And then she's like, what did I gotta do to make this work, to make it up? I jokingly said, beg on your knees. I didn't think she was going to do it. And guess what she did?
Ace, you did not.
She got on her knees and started begging. Like
you
Keith Sweat.
did.
I couldn't believe it. And old girl,
I would never.
And the old girl bust out in the room laughing. I can hear her.
How embarrassing would that be? How embarrassing would that be?
With the TV on, old girl, since I was close to the hallway, she couldn't hear the girl laughing. But I heard her laughing in the room. Old girl said, and then I still told old girl, nah, no thank you. She got up mad, said, can we still be friends? I said, yeah, sure. Which I was still lying, because once she left out the door, block, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much.
Oh, you was real
toxic. Yeah, I was toxic back in the day, man. So if you made me back in the day, and you watching the video, especially on my side, the people when I posted, I apologize. And the girl is on my Facebook, so I know she gonna know I'm talking about it. So I'm sorry that I even did it. It was like, and she still didn't know. She gonna know after this podcast when she still didn't know. Still didn't know. She probably know after she see this to get posted. It's years ago though. She shouldn't get mad, right? I didn't say no names.
Well, you're right. You didn't say a name,
I didn't
so
say
you're
no
not
name.
putting anybody
I'm not putting
out.
I don't do that. I don't do that. I ain't gonna put nobody out, but I ain't say no names.
Well, I mean, where you were giving your experience is something that you've learned from. You've apologized. Hopefully, she's willing to accept your apology.
I mean, I'm not hitting her up to ask for it.
No, I mean, but I'm saying, like, with you acknowledging that, hopefully, you know, that kind of goes over smooth. Another sign would be the conversation is never equal.
Yeah,
like
short.
When you're talking to that person,
1 or 2 words.
It's always no. When I say it's never equal, you mean like you're able to only get in 1 or 2 words, and they're just doing all the talking. Meaning, it's never equal.
Or they just giving you short answers.
But that's somebody who don't care. No, like when I'm saying
that's toxic behavior to me.
But that is a toxic behavior. That's so somebody.
When a female, listen, guys, female like, oh yeah, I'm interested. If I wouldn't be interested if you heard this before, I wouldn't be interested, then I wouldn't call you. But every time y'all get on the phone, y'all ain't talking about nothing.
She might be nervous.
Nah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I be nervous.
But I can see you on social media doing everything else.
I mean, maybe she don't know you like that.
No, not me.
I'm saying like in general. Like I be trying to play devil's advocate, but
remind me of my other homegirl. I was playing devil's advocate. It is what it is.
I be trying to give y'all the benefit of the doubt.
Ain't no benefit.
But that's not just in relationships with, you know, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Even with family or friends, like the conversation is never equal. And what I mean by that is like when you're talking to them, it's almost if like you can't get a word in because that person, it's like they're doing all the talking. Like they're expressing everything that's going on in their life or their situation that they're dealing with, but you can never get an opportunity to bounce either ideas off of them or discuss anything that's going on in your life.
Because
Keenan.
You do that sometimes with me.
I do?
Yes.
For real?
I'll be like, God dang, dog.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry if I do that.
Toxic.
I'll be a little more mindful.
If y'all see her in the streets, hey man, she gotta work on herself first for y'all get in a relationship. I'm just playing.
See, I'm over here. Don't do that.
I'm just
Don't do that. Cause I've learned so much from my past because I used to be a very bitter person. And when I say bitter, because of my past and how I grew up, I took a lot of stuff personal. So certain things that would happen to me, I would either cut people off, which is a sign of toxicness.
Oh, that was me.
Because you gotta learn how to. You really have to learn how to forgive people, and that's another segment for another day. Talking about
another toxic behavior, never closing stuff out. That was me. Oh, I cut you off. Don't give no type of closure. And anybody that sees this on my side, and I'm not trying to brag, but I have changed over the years and realized, looking back at certain situations, especially all that running around I did, I literally probably had an effect on a lot of female lives to where they probably approach things differently because of how I behave and how I went about handling business and whatnot. In my defense, no matter if it ain't no defense. Am I looking back at
growth?
Anyway, what I'm trying to basically saying is that I was being selfish because I was looking at only how much fun I was having,
and not being considerate of their feelings.
not being considerate of other people's
Yeah,
feelings.
that's definitely.
And on top of that, I can admit I ain't been a good friend as well to a couple of people as well. And I'm pretty sure when they see this, they already know who it is. So I'm not really gonna put no names out there either. I'm not gonna say I intentionally did things, but I could have probably handled situations better. I also could have communicated better, or not get so defensive. Like, but again, this is what happens. You know what toxic behavior comes? It starts from the house, starts from home.
It starts from within. Things that we don't deal with, and it floods over to other relationships.
I got you, but what I mean is toxic behavior starts when you were a kid.
That's what I said.
You said within.
I said things from when you were young.
Yeah, okay, I didn't hear that part. So, based on what I'm basically saying is, my home was very toxic growing up. And so at the end of the day, it was super toxic. So that's all I knew. All I knew was how to survive. I didn't know how to handle situations. I knew how to cut people off. I knew how to steal. I knew how to lie, cheat. No, I'm being serious. And so then when I came in a road where I had to be on my own, very young in the military, I'm not going to say that I knew everything that I did was right, but some things I thought was normal behavior. So I did them to people that I should have acted differently with. But all I'm basically saying is that if you know you grew up in a toxic environment, make sure that you ask God. So you got to sit down. Sometimes you might get
self-evaluation.
You might also
and self-awareness.
And so it's also go see some type of counselors. Yeah.
I have a therapist. Seriously. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So lame. She do got therapists.
Having a therapist helps you, and it's crazy. And I'm just gonna put this out there and say that in the Black community, we especially in the church, it's almost as if people try to shun you for getting or having a therapist or getting counseling. But that's actually something that's beneficial because it's helping you. There's sometimes with people in the church that, well, pray about it. Just pray about it. Just pray about it. Don't get me wrong. Yes, pray about the situation. But sometimes you need someone who's not in the situation to talk to about your situation, to put things into perspective, because sometimes people that are so close to you, they're not able to give you the best opinion because they may be biased to the or they may not be biased to the situation, whichever one it is, to the situation. And it's you're needing someone who's not in it so that they can give you their true opinion about the situation. Having a therapist changed my life. Seriously. I'm not going to give all the credit to the therapist. Now, I will say that. It helped me put some things into perspective, and then in putting things into perspective, of course, going on my knees in my closet, praying and asking God to show me. Reveal to me my errors, where I fall short, and God will definitely do that. Whatever you ask him, and
it usually comes in the form of somebody telling you.
That too, or an example being placed in front of you. And then again, becoming self-aware, really paying attention to your responses to other people. A lot of times we ignore what people are saying to us about us. Hey, I notice every time I do this, you always do this. No, I don't. Da, 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 da. No, if they're saying it, if you're hearing it from more than one person about something that you're doing, generally, it's the truth.
Yes, honey.
If more than one person has told you something, you may want to look back at some situations and be like, you know what?
And that's what helped me out. All them arguments and people cursing me out, females cursing me out, and telling me by myself, I took all that advice.
Hold on a minute. Now, 5 people ain't finna just be coming up with the same thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a talk, and she probably don't even remember this. It was a female that's I consider a friend. I wouldn't say she like my homegirl, but she was considered a friend. I ain't gonna say her name, but she had approached. She had came to my house, and she pretty much told me. She said, she the one said, man, your name rang in these streets so loud. And then that she said the exact same thing in a nicer way to me, that females was telling me that I feel like that was mad because maybe I just didn't want to do what they wanted me to do, or whatever. So when she put in that perspective, she came to me and actually told me. That's when I was like, I never really grew up like that, so I was never raised like that. So to see myself turn into this individual, that these females was actually I would paint myself to be, I didn't like it. So it took years of deprogramming.
That's true, that's why you need a therapist.
It don't happen overnight, so it takes years of deprogramming.
So don't beat yourself up about that either. It takes time to it takes time of progress and constantly working on yourself to it takes time and dedication to work on yourself. Self-awareness, like he mentioned, it's not something that's going to happen overnight, and it really starts with you making a choice or a decision that, look, I'm going to work on me. I call it mirror talks, where you look yourself in the mirror, and sometimes it's going to be some things where you think about in your past that you don't like about yourself.
And normally when somebody don't like about something about themselves, they always mean. Yeah. We got mean people.
And generally when you're mean, and I can attest to this because I was that person. Mm-hmm. Mean, it's to me, it could be stemming from hurt from your past. Possible depression. Or something from your past that you have not dealt with. Things that you kind of like swept up under a rug. And when you're in that process of asking God to reveal to you your shortcomings, of course he's going to reveal it to you. But in him revealing it to you, he can also let you know where it came from. Like there were things that I was on my face with God about, like, Lord, I don't like this. I don't want this. I know that I'm not this type of person. Help me to change my ways. And not only did he show me my ways and where I was falling short, but he also showed me how I became that way. And in those moments, it helped me to not only change the behavior, but it taught me, okay, if this is where it came from, if there was something within that situation, whether it was a person, I was able to reevaluate it, or if I needed to go back to that person and address something, if I was comfortable doing so. Because sometimes you may not be comfortable going to somebody, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Certain situations, you may not want to go and address whatever you went through or hurt or whatever trauma, or whatever the case is. You don't necessarily always have to go to that person, to talk to them directly. You can go to God in prayer. You know what I'm saying? In reference to letting those things go, because a lot of times, and I've heard this phrase, we bleed on people when we're hurting. And then we're trying to figure out why they're acting a certain way with us when we're not even realizing that we're bleeding on them. And they're reacting to us, to what we're doing to them. So being self-aware is very important in these times when you're dealing or realizing these toxic behaviors. You gonna have to learn how to face yourself. And sometimes that's an ugly process. Mm-hmm. But it's worth the process. It's worth going through that process to get better. Some other signs is they put you down or make fun of you in front of others.
Yeah, I got a story. I ain't gonna lie, I got a lot of stories just being in the military. He ain't gonna know this, but I know if my homeboy I used to go and party with all the time, see this, he don't know who I'm talking about. We had this one guy. He always wanted to like be around us all the time. And then when every time a female came around, he would try to throw us under the bus to make himself look good. Right? And I didn't like that. Like, I noticed that he would try super hard to try to impress a female, and in the mix, he would try to throw us up under the bus. And then he would always do that. And then I literally tell my homeboy at the time, say, hey man, he noticed it, but of course he the type, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? I notice stuff like that. I don't like it. And so I think the last straw was he ended up getting us into a fight over a woman outside this club, and he literally got us into a brawl. It wasn't just a fight. It was like 4 or 5 of us versus about 10 Israelis outside and in the middle of the street. Yes, I'm talking about. He got knocked out cold, so he wasn't even in the fight. He was out the fight like seconds. I almost got arrested that night. My other homeboy got jumped, and then the other one ran. The other guy that was ran.
Oh my God.
But after that night, that next morning, I went over and checked on him, the dude that I was throwing up under the bus. I want to go check on him to be a good friend, but he didn't remember nothing. And then I let him know, like, that's the last time I hung out with, because I put him on notice, like, I can't do this no more. This is too much. Like, this is too much. And then I let him know about himself, and he got upset with me. Which I didn't care, because I was, I cut people off quick, so I just cut them off, be honest with you. I ain't really want to be around that type of behavior, so... I'm not saying
it's okay to walk away.
Not saying I was perfect, but even back then, it's certain behaviors that I knew I just didn't want around me, because I seen it before growing up in my house, and I just didn't want to be a part of it. So I would cut off, and that's one of the reasons why I would cut people off so fast. And you look any revealing, like any type of what my family did, or just my mama did, I just cut you off because I don't even want to even deal with it, because I ain't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I dealt with them, cutting them off. I just cut everybody else off. I feel like traits come up.
Another one is you feel bad about yourself when you've spent time with them.
Huh?
Like, you ever like been around somebody who, when you leave them, it's like you feeling like bad, like you feeling bad about yourself because they've said, like, being in their presence, how they talk to you, what they say about you. When you leave them, it's almost if like you like, I don't really like being around that person, because every time I leave them, I'm like feeling depressed or feeling like they nitpicking at the type of person that I am when I know I'm a good person. By the way, if you're around people like that, you need to get away from those type of people. And your friends should be friends that make you feel uplifted. People that root you on. If you have friends that make you feel bad when you leave them, or not congratulatory, or not congratulating you when you go through, when you're in high moments, or not supportive, those are not your friends. Because friends don't act like that.
Nah, I ain't never been no friend like that. No, they ain't never been that situation.
I'm very secure within myself, so I never had issues like that.
But I'll tell you this, also another toxic trait is a friend that always putting you in the middle of stuff. That's a toxic trait.
That too. Gossiping.
Somebody always dragging you and stuff.
That is.
Always putting your name.
Talking about you behind your back.
If you got his wife so he can do his dirt and he ain't telling you, that's toxic. You want to let him go. Well, now you walking in the house, the wife yelling at you. You ain't never met the wife. Now she mad at you for whatever reason. You don't even know what's going on. And then you got to sit up here and come up and with the lie. For him, that's toxic behavior. You don't want that man as no friend, because no real friend will use you to do it dirt. And it's another, I'm going to tell you something else. I cut off every dude that cheats. Whether they in a relationship or marriage, I don't hang around guys who cheat. So that's a toxic behavior as well. There's no way for me to get better and not be a monogamous male if I always hang out with guys who mess around on their females. That's impossible.
I can see that.
I know people
because that's basically being self-aware of the things that you basically struggle with, and if you know that's something that
wasn't struggle, it's what my goal is. I took time to myself and realized what I wanted.
Gotcha.
I want marriage one day. It's impossible for me to do that if I got a group of friends. Everybody's just cheating on their spouse.
I mean, that makes sense. You gotta watch who you hang around.
So I had to surround myself around
like-minded people,
or people who's already in it and actually committed and doing the right thing. So, not knocking on dudes who want to cheat. You do what you do.
But it's not good to cheat.
Like I said, I ain't judging you. She is. But all I'm basically
that's not judging. That's just saying it's not good.
I was just only joking, Keenan. But all I'm basically saying is that if that's between you and God, I just don't want no part of it. Because that brings other toxic behavior inside your space.
That's true.
Because you gotta lie, which is a toxic behavior.
You have to lie? Because
you gotta help them lie. They put you in the middle of it.
That's true though, because you would technically get dragged. And
then technically, then when you don't lie, then now they blaming you. That's another toxic behavior. They'll blame you for not helping them lie. Just like in a relationship, if somebody cheat on you, whether it be male or female, they'll try to flip it out on you and tell you.
Yeah, that's toxic.
They'll tell you why.
What's the word for that?
Like
reverse psychology.
Or manipulation.
And manipulation. Mm-hmm. Like I came to you telling you about what I just found out that you did, and now you trying how we end up on me.
And it happens in friendships too.
That is so true.
We have a lot of friends who literally
and family.
Family, yeah.
Family, matter of fact. All across the board. Because some people deal with these.
Probably family do it the most. In my opinion, family do it the most. Mm. Especially mamas. I raised you. For 18 years. I didn't ask you to be here. They'll do that manipulation on you.
When they say, I brought you in this world and I take you.
And I raised you for 18. This how you talk to me? Because I got an opinion? Dang. I'm wrong.
So we already said manipulative. Being judgmental. A negative person. You ever just been around someone who's just negative about everything? I mean, we could be talking about the sky being blue. Oh, it ain't even that blue anyway. Like, they're just negative about everything. It's draining. It makes you not want to be around that person. Who wants to be around that all the time?
I was at one point.
You was what?
I was that person.
Really?
Yeah. As I know it's kind of hard to believe. I know I'm so charming right now, but
I don't know that.
But I can tell you this though. I remember what made me wake up was that I was at after hour spot eating with one of my homeboys. And every time he see a girl, he like, oh, that girl beautiful. Oh, that girl fine. I'm like, she all right. I kept doing that. And finally, like, McCray, you know she fine. Ooh, you always negative.
Why you was like that? What do you think caused you to be like that? Like, what was your...
Growing up.
What was you thinking about that would make you say when you... It's not like the guy had a connection with the girl. He was just admiring a random woman's beauty. Like, what would make you...
I don't know. I just wanted to... Because I don't like... At that time, I didn't want to big up a woman.
You wasn't what?
I wasn't trying to big up, meaning I was trying... I didn't want a woman to think she was beautiful and fine at that time.
Okay, I see what you mean. Do you remember what caused that for you to feel like that with women?
Yeah, one particular female, and then I will always say, men big their heads up so much, and then they start treating every dude that come at them the same. Mm-hmm. That they supposed to come in and do the exact same thing.
So your experience with...
Literally, they'll put a female up on this pedestal so high. That female get the big head, and then you got to come in here. They got all these rules, and that's not even fair. And then when you try making rules, they be like, either they don't even want to talk to you, they done, or they just want to go back and forth with you. So it's just even a man, a man probably getting put on a pedestal by different women.
I see what you mean. And that's a toxic behavior.
And he gonna act a certain way, and so then not every woman that come in his life. He gonna expect that woman to act that way as every other female.
And if they don't, basically you cutting them off.
Cut them off.
Wow. So you could be missing out on some potential amazing women
I know.
Or for the
I know. I say that all the time. Thinking back how I was acting, there's probably like 3 women I should have married. Mm-hmm. So You know what I'm saying? I'd have been happily married too.
Why you laughing so hard? Why you laughing so hard?
I had this conversation.
Why did you laugh so hard?
I had this
though?
conversation the other day. I just find it funny. I don't regret nothing I did. I learned from everything, but at the same time,
things a lesson.
it's probably like 2 or 3 off the top of my head. Cause now that I'm dating now, woo, man, it's hard out here in these streets. It's hard out in these streets. So I should have went on ahead and buckled down. But again, I didn't have males around me that was doing stuff like that. I didn't have no faithful friends that was faithful. Maybe
like
one.
Faithful in their relationship.
Yeah, one. I had one. That was that's my homeboy Trey. That's my homegirl. I know she gonna watch it because I don't want her thinking like, oh, you was hanging around the crib. But nah, Trey was the only one. But we didn't hang out like that because he was married. He only hung out sometimes, so which I understood. But everybody else I could think off the top of my head, heck nah. If I consider you a friend, even the ones that's gay, the female that's gay, yeah, they was cheating too. I ain't trying to put nobody on I ain't finna say no name except my homeboy Trey. I can honestly say he was the only faithful one that I hung out with that was faithful. Everybody else, nah, we all act the same. We all did the same. So it wasn't when I would bring certain females around, it would be this one particular homeboy who didn't like me showing affection to these different females.
Why?
He said, man, why you doing all like that? Why you gotta do all that?
Oh, because he looking at like why you messing with them, like why you playing with their hearts?
No, he would be like, ugh, y'all kissing like a little kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a bit
weird. Right? He would get mad. Oh, why y'all gotta hold hands? Oh, why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do that? Yeah, he would say that.
That's Anyway. No. I don't know about that. That's a bit weird. But passive aggression, self-centered, difficulty managing their anger. Like
I could check all them boxes, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Check them things
but
off.
what it say? Difficulty managing their anger. Yep. I run from people like that. And generally before I can even get to that point, it's almost as if it's like you already see the signs before, whether it's a relationship.
It be always something over small too.
Mm-hmm. Or whether it's family or friends. Sitting back, like before I allow anyone like close to me in my life like that, like I peep you. You may not even realize how much I've peeped you. Like, I mean, I peep you. And I don't mean on no stalkerish type stuff, but in a sense it's like
sounds stalkerish to me.
But that it's to protect me.
I mean, I understand.
You feel what I mean?
Light skin behavior. I'm just joking.
But no, sometimes you have to investigate, especially in a potential relationship. Like I'm talking Facebook page, like Instagram page.
That means
like,
nothing to me.
But I mean, like in anything, like when you're dating, especially when you're dating, whatever you can find, get access to. Oh, I'm checking.
You know what helps me?
Because I need to know all I need to know about you if I'm going to invite you into me.
Social media don't help me because people lie on social media.
People do lie, but I was just using that as one of the few examples.
So what I do, how I help, I want to see a female in her natural environment. The more comfortable I can get her, the more she revealed to me. All right?
That's true too. But that's what I'm saying. That was one of the few
No.
things
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for me, I don't even go by. Because some females, they'll do stuff on social media for attention.
Just for attention.
So I can't
but
even...
But for me, I guess it's different because dudes are different than females.
Nah, dudes just the same. Everybody, there's no... I'm going to tell you this is just my opinion. There's no difference between a man and a woman. Far as maybe just emotions. That's really about it.
You're right.
But even I can't even do that because I've seen some females just more... They emotional or even more emotional than women that I've seen. They just go off the chain.
Who?
You don't see them stories of dudes be killing girls because they can't have them. That's being emotional to me.
That's creepy.
So, but what I'm saying is no difference.
And that's toxic behavior.
And toxic behavior is that I don't care whether you a male or a female. Y'all both gonna show toxic behavior, and sometimes it might be similar. both people is going, if both gonna have anger management problems, both gonna curse you out, both gonna
throw your stuff,
throwing stuff, all that. So
break your stuff.
It doesn't matter you're a male or female, but like I said, the more comfortable I make you, the more you reveal to me. Sometimes you talk, and I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna say this is why this is true. I always did this back in the day. I don't do this now. This is the thing that I would get. So I had a partner that always asked me back in the day. He said, "Man, how you be talking to all these women?" I said, "Shoot, first number one, I don't. A female is not gonna act herself if I bring her around a group of my homeboys. I'm just be honest with you, she not. So I isolate. What I'm about to tell you is the same way I didn't know until I read on it. The same thing Satan does. He isolates you.
Ooh, that's a good one. Look at you.
So he isolates you. I would isolate a woman to where I don't want her around her friends. I don't want her around my friends because she ain't gonna be comfortable. Number one, when I approach a woman out in the open, I have to wait till she alone. Same thing Satan does. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to be around a group of my homeboys. Like, when you go in certain spots, you see all these dudes together. Nah, I will be the one to break away. I would just walk away and then circle and be looking. I literally be looking in the crowd and watch how women act and see who, number one, probably who looking at me. Number two, somebody who probably like, that look like they got low self-esteem. I'm just be honest with you. Certain things I would look for. It was a whole tactic for me. It was like a whole thing. Yeah, I study women. That's I literally study women, and there's men just like that out there that study women that be all on y'all Facebook pages, that be always posting about man this and man that, whoop whoop whoop. And then the same ones that's always be posting, right? I ain't gonna say all y'all, but majority of y'all that always be posting on it, y'all continue to get the same type of guy. They do the same type of thing. They're just a different face, different body, maybe different color skin, but it's the same trait. All right. Same thing goes for men too, and whatnot. They always want to go for the baddest one, right? When clearly the baddest one really don't even want you like that, and then they get upset and mad because that person, or they're tricked. Like I literally had a homegirl who got tricked in being pregnant. It's conversations that be held within the Barbie shops, and
that's why you should
group of men. Dudes will literally be like, "Man, she's so fine, I'm gonna get her pregnant on purpose," and I be over there looking at myself like, "You gotta be kidding me."
That is creepy.
Now I would expect a woman to do something like that. For a man,
that's creepy on both parties.
But for a man to say that, hey man, it's out there. They out there, and if you don't know. Well, now you know now. So I be in these circles sometimes and then I be listening to the conversations and I be like, man, you really want to get her pregnant? And then y'all get them pregnant and then don't even want to take care of the kid. And then she all everything up under the sun except a child of God.
But y'all want it. I'm going to get her pregnant, and now she's everything.
I even had a dude tell me I ain't taking care of my kid unless she give me some. A dude told me that. I like, word? No, I don't even want to even associate.
That's a spirit. It is. We gotta call it like it is.
But to go back to what I was saying, that I would isolate and I would get them comfortable. That's the only way I get.
So what you do now? You do the same thing now?
Nah, I don't even go to that extent. That's too much work. That was a lot of work back in the day.
You must have had a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah, when you're in the military, you got a lot of free time. Anybody that been in the military knows you got a lot of free time. Wow. And we had so many days off. The way I had my house set up was for a woman. The way I dressed was for a woman. Certain colors I would. I know it catches y'all eye. Smells. Y'all love smells. Listen, when I say I studied, and then women would literally tell me, and then I'm naturally loving, okay? So I'm very affectionate. I'm not like other dudes. Maybe y'all acting all hard. They don't want to hold you. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hold your hand. All right, I'm affectionate. I'm loving. I do like I
So
do
are
that.
you really loving, or
No,
was
I am.
that just a tactic?
No, naturally, that's what I wanted. I grew up in a household that wasn't even like that, so it's kind of odd that I even grew up like that. I like
Not necessarily because you are what you want. You generally put out. If you really want love, you generally give a lot of love.
So I'm gonna just say this, just to wrap up what I'm saying. I didn't grow up without a father, so I didn't know how to. So my whole military career, I had to learn how to be a man. So I literally was learning as I was going along how to treat women. Now I was raised to treat women with the highest standards, and then I got around dudes who treated women with the lowest standards. So I was in a conflict, battling back and forth. So I was mixing the two pretty much. I wanted to be free and do what I wanted to do with women, but at the same time, I literally still be me. You can't hide yourself, your natural self.
And you definitely can't hide from God either.
Because a girl literally told me during that time period, she said, I know you're not like this. I done seen you, bits and pieces of the real you. Didn't even realize that I was giving them the real me off. But that's what happens when you get comfortable. I would get just like dudes who cheat. They get comfortable. That's how they get caught. You get comfortable. Hey, man. Go ahead.
I already said those. Oh, but these are some ways to like how to basically deal with people who have these toxic traits. And I know we kind of all over the place, but not so much all over the place.
No, we all over the place.
We are kind of all over the place. But like, prime example, like avoid playing into their reality. And what that means is like, instead of like jumping on their bandwagon of the things that they talk about or things that they're quote unquote dealing with, kind of like respectfully disagree with the things that they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Or say, you know, I hear where you're coming from, but I just have to disagree and I'm not really interested in furthering the conversation. Like you have to, when you know, and how can I explain this a little bit? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if now and with disagreeing, that also might make them upset. And the flip, it may make them upset, but the good thing about it that it may also possibly do is it may prevent them from coming back to you with that extra stuff.
It won't.
Sometimes it do, because they know that, oh, she not, like, you got like a messy person who come to you with messy stuff. Hey, I don't really want to hear all that. Generally, that's either going to keep them at bay. Because like, oh, well, she ain't really with that. Every time I try to like come to her, or that person is going to notice I can't really say what I want to say around her. I can't be messy around her because
right.
She's going to call me out on it.
Listen, people who doing negative things want to be around people who do the same thing.
And that's what misery loves company.
Just like, so, I'm speaking from experience. I know. So when I was doing all that, I hung around dudes who did the exact same thing. Even women who did the exact same thing. Women and men who didn't do that, no, I didn't have a close connection. We probably was cordial with each other. But we never hung out. We never did that because I knew I didn't want them judging me. That's the real reason why they don't want to be around you, because they don't want you judging them. Now, naturally, you probably not judging them, but in their guilty mind, they doing dirt. So, of course, they don't want to reveal to you what they actually do. And that even goes back to just dating. That's why people not honest at the beginning, because they don't want to reveal. Like, I'm the type of, I'm going to put everything on the table. I'm going to tell you about my past. That might be a good thing. That might be a bad thing. But what I do tell my homegirls, you need to let these men know straight off the bat, I want to get married. If they run, you ain't asking to get married tomorrow. It's just to me, it's just a conversation. So it doesn't scare me. But if a dude is literally jumping out his drawers because you want to have because you letting them know what your end goal is, yeah, you do need to run as a female. Run away from him.
Because he basically already telling you that he doesn't want that.
Not with you anyway. So he probably
and that's
do
okay.
Want it. It is okay. But I understand some people get caught up with looks. Some people get caught up with status and people's status in life and all this other stuff. If you're willing to take that risk, go right ahead. You're going to waste your time and years.
You're going to be hurt trying to get yourself out over the situation that could have been avoided. People going to tell you up front who they are. All you got to do is pay
right
attention
off the
to
bat,
the signs.
I literally had a girl tell me the other day, that is not true. She said, if that were true, I'll be married. I said, I'm single by choice. It has nothing to do with I'm not married. Yeah, I could have married a long time ago. I chose not to act right. Is what I'm basically saying. So if a dude sit up and say that he got reasons why he acting, he's a lie. He's doing it because he wants to.
He doesn't want to change his behavior.
He don't want to
he's
change
comfortable
behavior.
doing what he's doing.
And so you either got to accept it or move on.
Keep it moving.
And I'm sorry, ladies, but no, most black men do act like that. And I hate to say it, we do. Some people act like that. Most black men. It's not a big, large of black men who can sit there and admit that they toxic.
I mean, but that goes both ways.
No, I'm not saying that. I can't speak for women because I ain't no woman. Well, but hanging around men, what I'm saying, hearing conversation, I got friends now who good people, but they horrible. They probably horrible in relationships.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? I already know they horrible. They know they horrible. They say it. They tell me. They don't say, oh, I'm horrible in relationships. It's just so many words. So I'm like, why even try to start a relationship if you know you're horrible at it?
Right. Because I think what I think, I'm not saying that this is what it is, but I think a lot of people are afraid to face themselves because facing yourself can be scary. I know I've faced myself and I still face myself.
It's like when somebody say they fear God, but they still out here doing what they want to do. You don't fear God because if you did, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. If you had a chance to meet Jesus Christ himself to come in, you wouldn't be able to look at him.
You wouldn't. Boy, I'll be on my face.
You wouldn't be able to look at him because Jesus knows everything that we've done. If he actually stood right in front of you, you could really look at him and ask him. You couldn't ask him no questions. Not the question you think. Because people always can say what they going to do when they ain't never been in the situations before. And then when the situation arrive, they don't act like nothing like they say they was going to do. The people always say, oh, if that was me, they'll look at a video on social media. Oh, that was me, I'll do this. Oh, stop lying.
And I had to learn that the hard way. A lot of people will say, oh, if that was me, no. You don't know what you would do in situations until you are in those shoes.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Just talk about friendships. I done been in situations to where I had dudes who supposed to be super close with me would tell me constantly how much they have my back, right? Whether it be fight, anything, if I was down it, those dudes was never there. All my friends now is the least people I least suspect to do anything for me in situations I was in my past. Like literally. Like if it came down to it, I'm not gonna go so many details in this story, but I literally, when I used to throw hands back in the day, okay, I was in a situation where I really was asking dudes that said they had my back. I called them. They ain't want no part of it, right? Then my homegirl called a couple of dudes. I even reached out to dudes that I didn't really mess with like that, but they came through. And I remember we was all sitting in the car together talking, in the parking lot talking. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even really mess with you like that, but he was so ready to like, Devin, I got your back. What you need me to do? I'm not saying it because it's good to fight. I'm just saying, using that example, that when you got somebody constantly trying to tell you what type of person they is, they probably not that person. That's why I'm going to let you know.
Because actions ring louder.
Rogers. And they got that constantly trying to convince you who they is. No. You know what I'm saying? Your action, just let your actions speak. You feel me? So when you dealing with people like that, I ain't going to never let you down. I ain't going to never. They might let you hold $5 or something or $20. But when the stuff hit the fan, and this is what I say hit the fan. That
generally is when it reveals what type of person that is.
And I'm going to tell you this. I pray for my friends. I literally, if they come to me, when I'm saying
everybody, if you have your real friends, y'all should be praying together.
That's what I'm saying. I'm literally, if somebody called me with a problem or a situation, I would stop what I'm doing and I would say, yes, pray real quick, because I know that's the only thing that's gonna help the situation. It really gonna help you calm down, right?
You be doing it for real.
Yeah, whoever see this video, they gonna know. They gonna vouch for me that I be praying like right there, and they be letting me know. I told you, like I really be praying, like especially men. Y'all don't want to do that. I'ma do it with you. So if you, If I call you my homeboy,
let's make that a good thing, because a lot of people, they shy from that. It's almost,
no, women would do it for women,
but I'm talking about men. Like, it's okay to pray for your brother.
If men, and I ain't talking about pray on the low. I'm talking about literally stand in front of him or be on the phone. If the brother really needs you, you just pray for real, for real. If you believe in God like you say you do, don't promote violence. Don't promote him to do anything wrong. Don't promote him. Oh man, your girl stressing you out. Yeah, man, just come out and cheat with her. Cheat on her. You do understand the stuff that I heard over time, that people, the advice that they give me, instead of just praying with me, it probably would have turned out different. Go ahead.
But yeah, well, I already said don't get drawn in. Like, don't jump on their bandwagon. Basically, pay attention to how they make you feel. And talk to them about it if you're comfortable doing so. And sometimes you may have to have multiple talks. If you love that person and you truly know that they're acting outside of their character, because a lot of times we take people's actions and we get offended by it, instead of sitting back and actually looking at it at, you know what, this person may actually be going through something. Let me be a friend or a family member or a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend. And, you know, talk to them. You should, if you love somebody, regardless of what type of relationship y'all have, you should be okay to go to them about things that you notice. And even if they catch an attitude, look, I'm just being a friend, or I'm just, you know, trying to be real with you about what I see. And a lot of times, some people, they may initially take what you say the wrong way, and watch how you say it. Be careful in how you and work on the words that you use. That way you can make sure that it's being or coming across the right way, because a lot of times some people may come off in response to what you're telling them about themselves. They may, you know, come off negative or respond negatively, but later on that night, I can guarantee you they're gonna go to bed with what you said. Everybody, their conscious, any normal inside good person, if you say something to them, even though they may deny it in your face, they're going to think about that, because we are people who like to view ourselves in a particular light. You're naturally going to, now whether or not you decide to change that behavior or not is one thing, but when somebody says something to you, generally you're going to think about what it is that they said about you, because it's about you. So don't be afraid to go to people and use I statements like, I don't like, you know, or I notice, you know, this happens, or I feel this way when this happens. You know what I'm saying? That way you're focusing it on you and not necessarily pointing a finger at them, because they're most likely going to be, in a sense, confrontational, or not necessarily confrontational, but it may be hard for them to accept what you're saying to them, because a lot of people don't really see themselves. Like my grandma, who will be the first to be the main one and be like, they don't see themselves. When you're going to somebody and you're trying to explain to them something that you noticed about them, that you're actually genuinely trying to help, you know, sometimes people just don't see themselves. And sometimes, like we mentioned earlier, sometimes you have to take a step back and love them from a distance, because you can potentially stress yourself out trying to help them.
Not only stress yourself out, blessings start being blocked, because you be around all that negativity all the time. Mm-hmm. Certain things just ain't gonna happen for you because you around in a negative environment. That's why it's good to be in a when you in a romantic relationship like marriage, your household need to be peaceful.
I'm trying to tell you, like when I leave the house, when I get married, I yearn for the day of when I leave home, I'm ready to be back home. That's the type of feeling I want. I don't want to, like, don't get me wrong, I want my space or my time away from my husband if need be, but I want to be in a relationship to where I'm ready to get back home, because he's my peace.
It just need to be a peaceful home. So I agree with you. And so, you know, I hear a lot. I haven't really had it, but I hear a lot. Well, dudes like, man, I don't want to go home. For somebody to want to be in the streets more at the house, that's weird to me.
It is.
That's just weird to me. Cause home for me is like it's nice.
I want
Right?
to be home. I want to be in my safe place, my place where I can be free to be me, open, fun,
that's
irritating, because I like to get on people's nerves.
Other behaviors to show you people are toxic right when you dating them. So I'm going to the romantic side now. You trying to date somebody and they always in the streets. I'm just letting you know right now.
Yeah. That's a clear sign.
That's a clear sign that I know from experience because I was the toxic in the street. And so I'm telling you, they ain't gonna stop. They're not gonna stop because of you. Mm-hmm. I don't care how fine you is. I don't care how much money you got going on. Well, maybe it was Oprah money. I might would have stopped. If I met Oprah, I probably would have stopped. She would have been like, I'll put you in that wheel. Shoot, what you need me to do?
What else? Put yourself first. And I don't mean in a selfish way, but put your wants and your needs first. If you're dealing with a toxic person who does certain things, it's okay to make you happy first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to result to or stop doing what you're doing to make that person happy when it's not being reciprocated. You feel what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be going out of my way and you never go out of your way. So, and that's dealing with relationships, friends, family. It's almost if like y'all's relationship is conditional. Well, I'm only friends with her because she does this for me.
Well, that go back to what I was saying about that dude that told me he wasn't going to take care of his kid unless he got some cooter. I mean, my bad, y'all. Unless he gets some. So, you know, men and women, they do that. Both do it. Whether it be even I had family members, they only call me when they need me to help them out with something. Now I ain't gonna say all. I'm pretty. They know who they is. You know, they always calling for financial. It's never. I don't get a call just to say hello.
How are you doing?
Hey.
You doing alright?
So if I don't hear from you from 6 months, I always say, hey, how you doing? I already know you want something. Just be right. I used to do it. Not in my family member, but I used to do it. I was toxic, so I can honestly say she probably was at one point.
Who?
You probably was toxic as well at one point.
I was more so toxic, like with family. I guess like more so acting out on my own frustration and bleeding on the people that I love.
Listen, toxic is toxic.
No, I'm not changing anything. Like, yeah. I mean, I would have to say, looking back in my past relationships, I wouldn't say like it was toxic.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we all have
had some form of
toxic behavior.
Right.
And some of y'all
more extreme than others, but it's still, like you said, toxic behavior is toxic behavior.
Mm-hmm. Because I literally just showed her video before this podcast started. This dude went to the woman's house and broke her window with that brick.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
I've never dated a guy who touched my car.
If a man that emotional, you need to leave him.
And I'm pretty sure you see signs early on.
For dudes who want to hit women. They want to kill women.
I don't play.
Who want to kill women because they can't get no whatever no more. They can't get.
Or they want you all to themselves.
That's too emotional.
And generally, in the beginning, and no, these are not all of the signs, but since we on the topic, generally in the dating phase, the signs that you can tell these men or women are toxic, they want your attention a lot. They're demanding, they're in a sense controlling. Where are you? Okay, but they want to know where are you. They're wanting to know where your whereabouts, controlling you, grabbing your arm, or texting you constantly about your whereabouts. What are some other early signs of toxicness besides controlling?
I had a female at one point during the dating phase say, I don't answer the phone fast enough. Literally. I don't know why you're looking at me, Keenan. That's what she said.
If I'm doing something, I will get back to you.
She literally screenshotted all the times it took me to call her back and sent it to me and said, I don't call her back fast. Trust me, I cut off at ASAP when I got that screenshot.
Because within that's somebody, in a sense, that's, what's the word I'm looking for? Insecure. That's insecure traits.
Just like I told you about the other female too, she got upset because I didn't call her back right after I got out of class.
Oh.
I didn't call this young lady after class. I walked through the door at 6 o'clock because I was running errands. And I get a text like, wow, we ain't going to talk tonight. Well, good night then. It was 6 p.m. I'm like, well, dang, wait a minute. What's going on? I said, it's only 6 o'clock. I just got back in the house and sure enough, I had something to deal with. So this female, she pretty much didn't believe my story of having an emergency with my son. And then finally I showed her proof, and through this whole conversation, she didn't say my bad, texting me that crazy mess. I told her, like, listen, I don't want to argue. So I want to let you know that I'm going to let you go so I can tend to my business. And she literally, I guess she was in a public place, so she went into the bathroom, started talking to me like your mama do at church. You better sit your... That's how she was talking to me on the phone. She was like, I didn't know you had an emergency. I said, whoa, guy. You have to calm down. But that was the end of that. After that, we ain't never spoke. She texted me a couple times. She texted me 2 days ago. I ain't responding. To me, that's toxic behavior. I don't give a care if it's at the beginning. I don't care if that was small. But if you want to find out, you could have just sent a text like, hey, is everything okay? I haven't heard from you because you say you calling me back. Then I would have explained. I was going to call her anyway. But see, that's that impatience right there. You feel me? Because life happens. Mm-hmm. I can't sit up and get upset if a girl tell me she going to call me back and she never does. A whole 24 hours go by and then I have to reach out.
I feel like if I have to reach out, then I'm not even on your mind.
So
I'm sorry.
I look at it as that, and I look at it as.
But depending on how deep y'all are.
I'm not chasing you. I'm not gonna respond. We still gonna be on. You call. Why you ain't call me back? Cause you can hit me up 3 months from now. Like, hey, what up, stranger? I said, oh no, you supposed to call me back. I'm still waiting on that call. Yep, I'm petty like that, man. I sure bring it up and screenshot the shots.
Wow.
Yep. I run into some situations like that where I just screenshot a girl say, I'm gonna hit you back. And then you're like, oh, they'll send me an emoji. You know, y'all good send them emojis, thinking emoji. I'm like, what's that for? Screenshot, I'm going to call you back when I'm done, da 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 da. And they be like, oh, I was. Oh, yeah. And they still don't call, so it don't matter to me.
To me, that makes it feel like as though you're not interested.
Who, me?
No, the person.
They wasn't. I already know they're not interested, so I don't get mad. It's at the beginning stage.
Yeah.
But then they'll come back around. It always does. They come back around again, and then they text you again. Hey, let's start over. Nah, I'm good. Option one. If you're not option one, don't let them make you no option. Ain't no option.
That's true.
Everybody should feel like they gotta get the bathroom. Everybody should feel like they should be the one. I don't care what you look like. Feel like you're the one. So if they making you an option, hey, I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but
I just feel like if you want someone, you let that be known. You don't have to play games.
And even with your friends, so somebody calling you a friend, they always calling you when they need help, but they don't ever call you to help you.
Or, hey, let's go hang out. Or, hey, what you been up to? Because sometimes, I'll be the first to say, me and my closest friends, and generally they're not even necessarily friends. I call my friends, my close friends, like my brother or my sister. But it's like, we can go a couple of weeks without talking, but when we do finally talk, we hit up, like we ain't missed a beat. Like with my brother, before we get off the phone, we say, I love you. A lot of people don't even do that. And it's like, that's how you know you have a genuine relationship with someone. Like, I tell all my friends I love you. You know what I'm saying? If we need to pray or if they dealing with something, a lot of times we take stuff so personal when a friend, oh, well, you've been acting like this lately. Pause. If that's your friend, or your family member that you claim that you love, or even your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your spouse, if you know that they're acting out of character, go check on them. That's selfish for you to even say, oh, well, you've been acting like. That should be the first sign. Hey, I'm noticing you okay? Ask them if they okay.
Well, some people don't want to do that, so.
And I know, because I was that person who was going through hell inside my mind.
Well, I don't check on people.
And some people would thought that I had thought I had attitude. I was depressed. I was dealing with some personal issues from my past that I didn't understand, didn't know how to deal with. And finally, when I started working on me and with the help of Christ, and I became better, and when I finally, opened up about some of the stuff, my close friends was like, Shakina, why you ain't come talk to me, man? You saw that I was dealing with it. Why you ain't come and check on me?
Well, listen, I check on my friend randomly. But if I really see you on social media posting on something, I will probably check on you earlier. I rotate through every 3 months and check on people. But my closest friends, we probably talk a little bit often, more than 3 months. Probably like every few weeks and whatnot.
Because life happens. You're not entitled. If you got a friend who feel like y'all got to talk every day, it's not that serious.
Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Friends,
listen, I ain't gonna say that.
We don't go. Some of my friends, we can go a year.
Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Some people...
And we pick up like we ain't missed.
Some people, don't listen to us. Some people enjoy talking every day.
Some people do. That's your prerogative.
That's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day...
It should be no feelings. It should be no, oh, well, you been acting... If y'all are friends, y'all are friends.
Yeah, life happens. Life does happen. And my friend today hit me up today, and we talked about old times for like 5 minutes, and that was it.
5 minutes.
We still love each other. I told her, I'm going to send you something on your birthday this Friday. I said I was going to joke and send you $1 first to see what your reaction was.
That's cold.
And then I was going to send her the real money.
That is cold.
I was want to see how friendly she was.
But naturally, anybody be like, bro, you really just
sent me $1
when you trying to be funny?
Yeah, because she sent me $50 for mine, but I was going to see him like, let me play a prank on her and send her $1 first. But she said what I thought she would. That $1 going to go to somewhere.
It is.
And I'm going to still say thank you, Devin. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm going to send you 100. What's up? I'm going to send you 100. So... At the end of the day, to wrap this up, man, listen. If somebody is always trying to blame you, never want to take ownership, somebody always trying to dominate the conversation in the when y'all trying to communicate and effectively communicate, and they don't want you to talk, don't want you to think, they don't even want you to breathe, they don't want you to blank. They don't want you to turn left or right.
Them,
whatnot.
Self-centered, manipulative.
And I know this because that was me, man. That was me at one point. Never always calling you for help. Like I said,
but never there when you need them.
Never there when you need them. You know what I'm saying? Also, argumentative.
Mm-hmm. Negative. Controlling. They have difficulty managing their anger.
Yep.
They don't have any self-control.
No communication skills. They like a caveman.
In 1 Corinthians, because we forgot these scriptures, 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. So basically, you need to be mindful of the company that you keep.
But that's something that your parents say all the time.
True,
though.
but it's biblical.
No, but that's where they get it from. I don't care if your mama don't go to church or not.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff that's said today it comes out the scriptures. They might word it a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Right. And Proverbs 13:20, whoever walks with wise becomes wise. So make sure you surround yourself with I kind of cut that off, but make sure you surround yourself with positive people, like-minded people, who are willing to pray with you, people who are willing to intercede with you or for you. Be mindful of the people that you have in your circle. And if it's people that you're recognizing who make you feel drained, or some of the topics that we have, discussed in reference to toxic traits, those are some people you may need to reevaluate and kind of distance yourself from. Or if you are strong enough or want to discuss the things and be a helping hand to them to help them through that situation, you can. And also suggest them that they go seek therapy or seek help.
Listen, I got one scripture. 2 Corinthians 6, chapter 6, 14 through 18. It says, "Be ye not equally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness?
Right.
And what concord has Christ with Belial? Or what part has he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement has the temple of God with idols? For ye are temple of the living God, as God has said, I will dwell in them, walk in them, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be separate, and say to the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, says the Lord Almighty."
That's a good.
So I know that's a lot, but basically in layman terms, in regular Duval terms, God is saying in that scripture is you have to break away. For you to be the person that you're trying to strive to be, you have to break away.
God called you to be.
Yes. You have to break away. I don't care. They might be the best human being in the world, but their spirit might not be right.
Come from amongst those people.
Because at the end of the day, they're gonna cross you anyway. They're gonna drag you down eventually.
Miss out on what God has called for you to do because you're too busy tied up with them.
So you can still be cordial. You can stay hey. You still what's up. You're not judging. You're not doing that. You're just doing best for your spiritual well-being.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, you're never gonna be happy because you're always gonna be, when your spirit ain't right, you're always gonna be trying to search for happiness in other people. So if you can't ultimately get your spirit right, you ain't gonna have to look for happiness in other people
because it's within.
You already gonna be happy, man. That's just the way it is. So, hey, man, I come a long way. I still got work to do though.
That's good. We all do.
So don't judge me for my stories, y'all. Don't judge me when you see me in the street. Just don't judge me, man. Don't be like Keena, how she judged me.
I do not.
I'm just playing. All right, that's really it with this podcast right now.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching. We're probably gonna have to do a part 2 to this because we had other toxic topics to go with.
Nah, not only toxic. We're gonna talk about forgiveness. So this is probably gonna be like part 3, part 4, part 5, whatever.
Because they all still tie in together. Because sometimes we're toxic within ourselves.
Because we're
toxic to ourselves.
The next one we're gonna do is forgiveness. So.
That's a good topic. Self-awareness and self-evaluation.
Especially in this climate. I understand that, people don't want to forgive. Trust me. I understand.
But it's better to forgive because you hold yourself captive and God wants us to be free.
Roger. So, in that case, letting y'all go. Y'all be safe. And make sure y'all pray, meditate. And y'all gonna be good.
You gonna pray us out? I'm praying.
Oh, we actually praying. Yeah. Okay. We gonna let Minister Keena pray.
Thank you, Lord. We come to you now asking you for forgiveness for our sins. We want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to your people and share our stories, to be a help to your people. Lord, we thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy that you've bestowed upon us. Bless everyone that this video will that will see, bless everyone that will see this video, and I pray that it is a eye opener. I pray that it ministers to their hearts to help them to want to draw closer to you and become a better person and become more aware of the things that they may cause on themselves, as well as how they may affect others around them. I pray that everyone has a prosperous week for the rest of this week. And I pray that we all, take time to reevaluate ourselves so that we can become better people, to bring you glory and to uplift your kingdom during this time, especially during this time, because we need it. And all these blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.